Shout out to our affiliates, VeVe Digital Collectibles. Join the future of collecting with VeVe, where the world collects. Whether you're a die-hard fan, a passionate collector, or new to the world of collecting, VeVe is your gateway to premium, officially licensed digital collectibles, comics, and artworks from some of the biggest brands on the planet, such as Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, DC, and many more. Check out the affiliate link in the description box below, or use the QR code that you see on the screen for $10 off your first purchase.
And we are live. What's up? What's up? What's up? My name is Emojii. I am here with
Magic.
And we are bringing you our journey
From Toontown
to Tokyo.
Yay!
Let's go. Appreciate everyone that came through. Magica, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I would say I'm feeling chilly because we're reviewing Frozen, but it's a beautiful summer day here, so
True. I feel you. I feel like, you know what's funny, especially when we talk about magic, right? I feel like this movie is very fitting, right? And because it's all about magic. And to me, Frozen kind of like holds also too, right? We're reviewing Frozen 2, the sequel. But to me, the sequel. Frozen always holds a special place in my heart, the original one, because it kind of was a movie that rekindled or reminded me of my love for Disney movies, specifically musical Disney movies. And we'll get into that. But you chose this, so, you know, what made you decide to go with this?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta cook you a little bit because you say that Frozen's like your favorite Disney film and you've not seen Frozen 2 until now. Like, that's crazy. And I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Disney has a bad rep for sequels. But still, like, how big of a fan are you if you don't actually watch the sequel? Are you really a fan?
I wanted to see it. But like that first movie, it took me by surprise. Like I wasn't expecting to get the reaction I got from that movie. And maybe before going into this one, maybe I should give you a little backstory about like how I went to see that movie. So I was tricked, right? I was tricked into seeing the movie, and not that I wouldn't have seen the movie. What I mean by trick, like I was told that there was going to be like this big. I knew we were going to go see Frozen. But I was told that it was going to be like this big event and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, like, you know, we're meeting a whole bunch of people at the theaters. It's going to be like a big party. So I'm like, all right, I don't really care too much about seeing Frozen, but I'll go for the time, right? Maybe, you know, it'll be a fun time. You
went to go see Frozen for a party?
Magic, don't judge me, okay? I have very musical friends, all right? I have musical friends, all right? But I went to see Frozen because they told me it was going to be a party. And I went there and it was only one person. It was one person that was there. And you know, me and her, we ended up watching Frozen. But like, when I saw the movie, first off, here's the thing. I think that they put the AC on for effect, like for theatrical effect, because it was super cold in the theater, right? And I'm watching the movie, and mind you, like for me, when it comes to Disney, I kind of like live in that golden period, like the 90s, right? You know, we talked about this. Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, you know, just because also the music, like a lot of the songs from those, I remember, I can sing word for word, right?
Frozen really started the new era.
Yes.
Like, what we had as kids growing up to like what our kids now have. It's literally like the new era of some really good films. Frozen, Moana, you know, there's several.
100%. And that was the thing. So before that happened, right, we had a break. Like we had a lot of Pixar movies, which Pixar doesn't really have music in it. Not like that. Like it has music, but not like.
They also don't miss.
They don't.
Those are some
Pixar,
amazing films.
Yeah, they don't.
But I get what you're saying. They're not
musicals. They're not musicals. You know, and then I think the first one, when it kind of like got back to that formula of like having musical movies was Tangled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tangled was cool, but this movie, when I went in I know you love Tangled. I know. I said it's cool, but we're talking Frozen. Okay, all right. So with Frozen, right? When I went into the movie, right? The first song, "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?" I was like, I like this song. The song is catchy. It's a bop. Do you want to build a snowman? Like I was like, it's cool, right? Then they hit you with First Time in Forever, and now I'm like,
which film are we reviewing?
I'm giving the backstory. I'm giving it back.
15 minutes.
No,
we're going to spend 15 minutes on the backstory here.
All right, I'll speed it up. So First Time Forever, I was like, this gives me like classic Disney vibes. This gives me like Beauty and the Beast. What's that song? Something about Belle or whatever. It gives me the. I'm speeding it up. Then when Let It Go hit, I got chills in the theater, and it wasn't because the AC was cranked. That song would, like, when I first heard, it's kind of like when you hear a song, you know it's a hit. I'm like, this song is a hit. And it was, and it terrorized parents for many years to come because all they heard was their children singing it all over the place. But nonetheless, a hit. So that's the expectation that I went in going to this second movie. And it's kind of like why, to answer your question, why I was so reserved to see it, because Frozen 1, it exceeded my expectations, blew everything out of the water. It instantly went to my top 5 Disney movies of all time. That says a lot.
I think you have to like automatically temper your expectations going into a sequel. Like
you do.
And that's not just Disney, that's like everything. Like it's very, very rare for sequels to be as good or like almost unheard of to be better than the first. So you kind of always know that.
But that's why I was so reluctant to see it, because I'm just like, will this taint my vision of what the perfection of what's Frozen was? And I was kind of like, I wanted to see it, but I was scared. But this was your movie recommendation. So do you want to kick things off, Magic?
I mean, I'm curious to see if you were like feeling like PTSD now. I didn't know there was so much fear behind this. I'm not sure if I helped you or ruined you.
I mean, you'll find out. I
mean, I never knew Amanda be that in love with Frozen, but hey.
Listen, don't judge me. I told you I'm okay. The floor is yours, Magic.
Okay, so yeah, because I knew that Emojii really loved Frozen, I was like, how have you not watched Frozen 2? So let's watch this. And also, there is a Frozen 3 in the works. So I don't know. How's that going to go? We're curious to find out. This film opens up and it kind of like, I feel like they do a good job of picking up where they left off. Just everybody's sort of, happy and living in harmony, and the kingdom is at peace, and they all just have a good time together. It opens up with a song. And then in the evening time, Elsa hears this call, but nobody else can hear it. And so it's like something's calling to her and she's trying to ignore it and she can't. And then the Arendelle starts to do weird things, and they find out that there's an issue, there's a threat. And so the film is about them going on this journey, and she wants to go by herself, and Anna's her sister, it's her best friend, and she's like, there's no way. So the tribe of Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, Sven, and Olaf go on this journey to try and figure out what is going on. And they enter this sort of... Also, there's a background about when their parents were alive, telling them about this land, and it's I don't want to crucify it, but it's out of Holland, I believe.
Out of T'Challa.
What is it?
Adatatalala.
That sounds like something from Black Panther. I think you put an extra T in there.
That's what it is. I'm telling you. No, I'm serious. Yeah, Adatatalala.
You put an extra T in there.
No, it's not. It's Adatatalala.
No, it's definitely not that. It's definitely not that. Anyways, you guys, you know how we are. Just bear with us. You get the idea. And while the parents are alive, the mother sings them this song, telling them about this, mysterious land that is, not safe to go to. And there's the river that sort of like speaks the truth. But at the same time, if you go too far, you kind of die. And so they go to this land and they enter this big fog wall, and they're not allowed in, but somehow Elsa is able to get in and get our whole crew in. And then they're like finding out like this place is weird, like there's something weird going on, and there's all these different elements of magic. You have a wind element, and then all of a sudden the forest is setting on fire, and you also have these new characters that appear in the film, which I love. And Olaf is just, as usual, a comedic
Olaf is
treasure.
hilarious.
He is so funny. Like when they're doing the wagon ride, getting to this area, and he's like telling them like fun facts.
Wait, were those real fun facts? Like, because I was taking them for his word. Like, I was like, is this real?
I kind of think they're real. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to Google if turtles can breathe out their butt.
I feel like Olaf wouldn't lie to me. I feel like Olaf wouldn't lie to me.
Right?
Shout out Olaf over here in the corner.
Yay! So I'm going to speed through this, and then we can like go to different areas and dissect more.
No problem. Can I just say my favorite line from Olaf real quick, though? I'm sorry.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So there was a line where things kind of like was going crazy, and he was sitting there with the kids, and the kids were like putting like snow icicles on him, and he's like, "This is what we call controlling what you can in a situation that you can't control." And like he has these lines, it's kind of like he's talking to kids, but they're like very adult lines, but it's I don't know, it's just funny. It's just, I don't know, he's hilarious. But okay.
He definitely has some amazing one-liners. And just like little things like, this is fine, this seems safe, like all these kind of things. So, and he's really clever too, because like the wind comes up and he like thinks it's friendly, and he makes friends with this wind element, and he calls her Gale, which is genius, by the way, because Gale Force wins, if you know.
True.
And then there's this, my like little favorite new character in this film is this little lizard guy, and I don't think he has a name, but what's cute about him is he's you can tell he's like a
he's on your shirt
character.
By the way, just to say he's on
he?
He's on your shirt. He is.
You can tell he's he's like sweet, but he's frustrated, and he needs something to calm him. And at first, Elsa's sort of fighting him, but then she basically tames him by putting him on her hand, and it soothes his fire element. And so they realize that they're sort of friends in this. So all these things are happening. Then they meet the people of that place that we're just going to not butcher anymore. And then also there's like this Arendelle army that's been stuck there for, what was it, like 34 years?
Yeah, I was like, how are they still alive? Is this like, and that's the other thing that kind of like confused me.
And they've been wearing the same clothes too this whole time.
They're wearing the same clothes. They still are alive. And I mean, they don't look decrepit. Like they still look like they have energy. And so I was like wondering, does time stand still there? Like because I mean, we are in a magical place, right? So maybe they're frozen in time.
I have no idea. So the Arendelle people and the other people, they like kind of mind themselves. They don't get along because of whatever went down. But we don't really know what went down, and that's what the film is about, discovering like what happened. And so at certain points in time, I don't know what really triggers it, but this magical effect occurs, and there's like these frozen statues that appear, and they're telling the story of what happened.
Because water has memory.
because water has memory. That's a sticking point in this film. So water has memory. And so they're still trying to figure out what's happened. Then they have to continue on this. She knows that, Elsa knows that she has to kind of like dive deeper into what's going on here. And I mean, I feel like I can kind of skip like middle parts. Can we just talk to her about her like taming the water beast, or am I like skipping something huge if I do that?
I think.
Sorry, my cat.
I was like, what?
We got a cat element today, guys.
I think we're good. I think we can tell you.
Yeah, there's other elements too. Like there's like these rock people in the film who play a pivotal role towards the end, but they are like these rock giants and they are very scary. Oh, okay. There's one other element that we have to talk about. Kristoff is on his own very personal journey throughout this film. This is a huge, huge part of the film.
He's like Baradad from Rescuers.
Bernard.
Yeah. What's his name?
Actually, that's exactly what I was going to equate him to in this review. Is he's very much like Bernard. That man is trying to propose so hard to poor Anna, and Anna is also like a comedic relief in this film because I was telling you like we're gonna have to talk about girl math because he would like say these things and he thinks he's like being romantic and like setting the scene, and he's like, oh, this would be really romantic if not, if given different circumstances. And she's like, what do you mean different circumstances? With somebody else? He's like, no, the fact that we're about to die. Like, there were just all these like back and forth things that were super, super cute. So he's trying to propose in the middle of this whole film, all like every scene. So before we get to sort of towards the end, shall we talk about the 80s number, or do you want to hold off until after we've gotten through everything?
I'm down. So so there's this scene in the movie where where Kristoff sings The Inspiration by Chicago. And that is 100% what he sings. What song does he sing, Magic?
What is it?
Exactly. You're the Inspiration by Chicago. He sings it. And that's the thing that threw me off too. And speaking of like Disney kind of like, because that was the same thing with this Lilo and Stitch thing, right? They replaced the songs with other songs and now we're doing 80s songs. I mean, it's a classic song from Chicago, classic band, but I'm like,
it wasn't Chicago.
Why? Like, did we need?
I think it was more of like, I think it's more of a shout out to the parents that are taking their kids to this film. Like, again, at the beginning, we said like this is about sort of the new age of what the classics we grew up with. And so I feel like this song is sort of like, hey, we got something for you guys too who loved Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and whatever. I feel like it was sort of like the kids are going to be like, what's going on? But the parents are going to be like, okay, I see you.
But I'm a parent and I was listening to it and it felt like more so my parent. Like I wasn't around for Chicago.
You're very young and that's okay.
Okay. All right. But I guess. But I mean, it was...
Who doesn't like singing Reindeer? Come on.
That part was cool. I do like singing Reindeer. But you know what my favorite song was in this?
Lost in the Woods. Lost in the Woods. That's the name of the song.
You're the Inspiration by Chicago. But what I did like, actually one of my favorite songs, I did like the Olaf song in this. I thought it was actually really funny. I mean,
this all makes sense when I get older.
Yeah, and I mean, I like Olaf's song, in the last one, right? What Snowmen Do in Summer or whatever it's called. So, yeah, like summer.
That's from the first movie.
That's what I said. That was the last one. I like both of his songs.
We're talking about that movie.
I'm sorry. I'm kind of like, I'm comparing and contrasting. But I did like this one. And then we have to also talk about Idina Menzel.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll just fast forward a little bit. Elsa kind of goes off on her own and knows that she has to go figure out what's going on. So she tames a water horse, which is like one of my favorite parts, by the way. If you know me, you know why.
Definitely reminded me of you. I was like, this is so magic right now.
best. And she takes it to, I forget what the actual place is called. Do you happen to know?
Adatolalakale.
Yay!
Yeah, that one. And she gets there and she basically finds out the story of what happened and that her grandfather betrayed the people.
Was a jerk.
And they had, yeah. And he had built this dam, acting as if it was like a peace offering and like bridging the two peoples together. But like, nah, he just wanted to like be the conqueror. And so that's what kind of like made everything just, what's the word? Just get into this
colonization.
Place. No, like just everything got disrupted and everyone got trapped there and the magic took over and you find out also that that is what Anna and Elsa's parents were trying to do. They were trying to get there to help resolve all this, and that's where how they got shipwrecked, was in trying to find and save both peoples. They were trying to bring peace back to the kingdom, and basically died in doing so. And so a huge point of this film is the bond between Anna and Elsa. And Anna has a very hard time with Elsa continuing to step out and like do her own thing and like, hey, we're supposed to be in this together. Like we have to work together. But you find out that like Elsa has to do that in order to get the answers.
Speaking of that, right? Which to me was like a tough line in this movie, and it actually reminded me of Janie. It's a line that Anna says right after Anna. Elsa, all right. Right after when Elsa is trying to, puts out the fire in the woods and stuff like that, and Anna, runs into the woods trying to help her, but obviously gets taken out and stuff like that. And Elsa's yelling at her, and she's like, you can't run into fire, coming to save me and stuff like that. She's like, and then Anna claps back, and she's like, if you don't want me to run into fire, don't run into fire. Like, and that was just like the most ride or die. Hold on, I gotta hit a horn in that. But that's like, that was the most ride or die type of statement ever. It's just like, yo, like, if you jump into the fire, I'm jumping with you. If you ride, I'll ride. Like I liked it. I thought it was dope.
That's what my best friend would do for me. I already know.
There you go. I gotta hit a yay for Janie.
Yay!
There we go. But so
she Elsa gets the answers, but basically in doing so, she gets refrozen. Like I guess it just like sucks all of her magic out of her.
I thought it was just extra cold. I was like, I guess it must be extra chilly down there. Like it was.
But as she gets frozen, she shoots off her magic, and what it does is the magic finds Anna, and it is an ice sculpture of the grandfather killing the chief of the other tribe. And so Anna's like, oh my gosh, I know what to do. I know what's going on. And Anna pieces everything together.
I just want, can I just say one thing real quick?
Sure.
With your hand gestures, you're kind of smacking the lizard.
I'm sorry, lizard.
All right. That's it. That's all.
I like him. I didn't mean to. My bad.
It's all right. No worries. He's fine now. He's fine. I'm sorry. Did I make you lose your train of thought? Okay. All right.
Which hand can I move? Any hands?
That one is fine. That one is fine. Okay. There you go. All right.
So also though, she basically dies, and so in her dying and being frozen, her magic dies, and so Olaf dies.
That got me. I was going to hold on real quick. I was going to text you. I'm like, because there's a few things that I was like, damn Idina Menzel, right? But then also, damn Disney and its like writing, because that gave me Peter Parker Endgame vibes. Like watching him like disappear like that. Yes. I felt like that. I was reference. Like, dang, like did this really just hit me like this? But yeah.
Yeah, he dusted.
He did.
Dusty.
He did. And he had the snowflakes and everything too. Like everything was like all over the place. Like that was emotional.
So-
it was emotional.
Again, what's the funniest thing when I watched the Frozen movie for the first time, it took me a long time to get around to watching it. When I watched it, I was thinking all along that like Elsa was the main character. And I'm like, girlfriend was hardly in this movie. Like what? Like Anna's the star. And the same is really kind of true for Frozen too. Like I mean, they both did a lot, but I feel like Anna is always...
You feel like Anna was the main character in this?
I feel like Elsa had more given this because she ultimately went and discovered, you know, the true story and the key and how to like save things. But again, like Anna saved the day, and Elsa even said at the end, she said something. I forget what Anna's line was.
You saved me again.
You saved me again. And it's like, man, Anna really is like, I don't know. I feel like she's the hero in both films. She really is. Like she does everything with full heart and like true love. And
okay.
Are we gonna fight over Elsa and Anna? Because I'm ready.
I don't think so. But I do have a comment on that, right? Because in the first one, Anna, didn't she turn into ice? Anna, didn't she turn into ice? Like she was fully turned into ice, right? Because she got like ice beamed in the head, in the face, and then like end up turning into ice later. All right. Yeah. So
Ice beamed in the head.
So I feel here's one thing that I feel about these movies. I feel like they both save each other. You know, it's like one saves one and then one saves the other. And that kind of like, that was one thing that stood out to me about the first movie, because it wasn't like a knight in shining armor. It wasn't like Kristoff is an amazing character, but Kristoff is kind of like just there. Like he's not there to really save anyone. This is really
also on purpose with Disney. I watched things about the making of this film, and they purposely didn't want him to be
the savior. Yeah, 100%. And this is about like, you know, the bond between sisters and them coming to each other and being, you know, each other's heroes, right? Now, with that said, with this one, I mean, yes, Elsa was frozen, and then it took Anna. It took Anna the time to do whatever she did to help her, you know, to break the dam and do all of that stuff. But also a large amount of the heavy lifting did go to Elsa too, because Elsa was the one to find out the truth and be able to convey that to. It was kind of like a baton pass, right? Like she found out the truth, passed the truth over to. Yeah, relayed that over to Anna, and then Anna, you know, acted. So it kind of like, to me, still goes on that give or take where they're both tag teaming as the heroes. And I'd say as far as overcoming things, I think in this movie, Elsa, to me, was the one that overcame the most, because with her powers, her realization of what role she plays in this, being ultimately the hero of everything, of Arendelle at the end, right? But, you know, for me, she's the one that went through the biggest journey, as far as with the discovery aspect of finding out the truth and her lineage and past. But yeah,
fair.
I don't think that's
very clear. You favor Elsa, very clear.
I mean, what? I like Elsa. She's dope. She's got ice powers. She's like the X-Men. She's like an X-Men, kind of.
Okay, so baton gets tossed to Anna, and she basically disturbs these rock giants and gets them pissy and has to use them to destroy this dam. And at first, the guard of Arendelle are pushing back on her. And she's like, no, don't you see? Like, this is what we have to do. And she convinces them, and they trust her, and they destroy it. And in doing so, it brings life back to Elsa. And Elsa is able to get on her ice horse. And because they didn't want it to be destroyed, because in destroying it, it would destroy Arendelle.
Yeah, the water would come and go right to, and flood Arendelle.
Yeah, so just in, the nick of time, Elsa is able to get right in front of Arendelle on the horse and use her powers to shield Arendelle from the devastation. And so then it both end up saving Arendelle.
You know, also to another point, kind of like leading up to that, is that even though, because that dam was never supposed to, that wasn't supposed to be there. That wasn't supposed to be blocked like that, right? The water's supposed to be freely flowing. And, you know, obviously now you're dealing with something where it's kind of like, well, someone has to like die, right? Like, because us breaking this, now you have innocent people in Arendelle. But then they made the point, well, you know, these spirits like the wind and stuff like that, they weren't trying to actually hurt anyone, because prior to that, they made sure everyone evacuated Arendelle, right? So I think that was an interesting point too, because, you know, at first when you see it, you're kind of like, oh, these natural disasters, what's going on? But those natural disasters is what cleared out Arendelle, so that way the dam could be broken and no casualties and no one, you know, be hurt. So it was interesting because it showed that those spirits were actually like, they were still good, like they still cared about, I guess, life.
It's true. And the main takeaway too with Elsa and her journey through this is there was the 5 elements, and she learned that she was the 5th, like she was the bridge basically to peace and harmony and keeping all these elements sort of together and cohesive and working together rather than at odds, because they had been at odds for, you know, 30, I think they had said 34 years, which is crazy. So what happens with this is Elsa has a self-realization of now that like her role is bigger than just Arendelle. Like she is this bridge. And so she basically tells Anna to take over the kingdom and be the queen. And she kind of has to stay back and do her thing. And what's really beautiful though is at the end of the film, one other really touching point is, you know, throughout the film, Kristoff is trying to like figure out when to propose, and the timing is never right, or he's always screwing it up, or Anna is just like on a different planet. And when Anna and Elsa finally meet up and they hug each other and you know have their talk, he proposes in front of Elsa, which I thought was perfect, because that's how it should be, because you basically need like her permission, because that's her, you know, it's her best friend, it's her parent, basically, parental figure. So they get to, you know, have their little happy ending, and then now she's been crowned the queen, and you know, Elsa's kind of just like, I guess you could say, like on patrol. Like she's outside. She's outside living in the woods. It's like the ice spirit. Yeah. And she's got her little lizard, and she's got her ice horse. But what's really cute is then you see all these different elements in peace and harmony. The little lizard is happy as can be, and Gale floats between the, you know, Ottawa, Canada. Ottawa, like Landa.
Yay!
And Arendelle, and you know, it goes in as she gets crowned. Gale goes and visits her, and
they pass notes.
Gale take a note to Elsa, and it says like, you know, charades this Friday night, which is how the film kind of, you know, started. And you know, it shows her like going back home. So while they kind of now have to have their separate lives and live their own lives, they're still very much connected and still in sync. And I thought that was really beautiful.
It was. And they're not too detached too. I like the fact that they have instant, you know, access to communicate with one another through Gale. And I have to say, honestly, there's a lot about Elsa that does remind me of you, because I could see you living out in the woods with a water horse. And I don't know. I feel like that would have been the path that you would take. But I feel like we can't talk about Elsa without talking about Adina.
Goat.
Yeah. So, you know, you know, you're waiting for it, you're expecting it after a song like Let It Go. You're expecting, well, what is going to be the standout, you know, what is going to be the Adina Menzel performance? What is going to be the thing that it's going to? And here's my what's the name of that song? I'm not talking about the one with the whistles. I'm talking about the one when she's in the ice cave, like the She's in the ice cave.
I thought she had two really good ones.
She did, but the one with the ice cave was the one that kind of like, I feel like vocally was the one where she like really like shut it down.
I like Into the Unknown better. That's the one in the beginning.
The Into the Unknown I like too. I just thought the performance on the other one was better. But you know what? I might like Into the Unknown as a better song because that's the one that I remember.
Yeah, for me it's catchier.
It's catchier.
Get you the title on the other one. So it's catchier for me. But yeah, I agree with you. Like the vocal performance, and I saw interviews of her when they wrote the songs for her, and she's like, "Oh, you guys are gonna make me do this again with 2 songs?" Like, she's like, "I don't know if I have it in me," but yeah, she nailed it. What a powerhouse.
She did. Amazing performer. I wish I could have seen her on Broadway. Show yourself. Oh yeah. Yes. Okay. Now it hit. So both songs amazingly done. Obviously, she's a legend. But I will say this. I still feel capturing that magic of Let It Go is going to be a very hard thing to do. Because that song was not only like, she knocked it out of the park, but that is a catchy song. That is a hit. And it's been some time now since those movies have come out and those songs have been, out and stuff like that. But still, I don't think any of them have captured the phenomenon of what Let It Go was. What are your thoughts?
Do you know what song I was really disappointed with?
What?
Anna's sort of The Next Right Thing.
Oh, okay.
Her sort of solo song.
That was kind of like her first time in forever, but this version.
But it didn't...
It didn't hit the same.
It didn't. It wasn't... And I know it needed to be like serious, but it wasn't catchy at all. Like, it was just more like storytelling rather than a rhythm of a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that song disappointed me in the film because I love Kristen Bell. I think she has amazing vocal chops as well for being more of an actress than a singer. And I feel like with her one good song she had was that beginning one, like when she's with Olaf. So I feel like that was supposed to be her moment, but the song, I wasn't mad at her performance, I was mad at the song. I feel like that song didn't lend itself to showcase her.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too, with that, you have, both of them and you talking about the dynamic between Anna and Elsa. I'm sorry. But even in the first movie, right, when I, from Do You Want to Build a Snowman to First Time in Forever, I was like, this is the standout. This is it. Like, and in those songs coming back to back, both being catchy songs and stuff like that, I'm already hooked and locked into Anna. Then you get Let It Go and you're like, wow. Yeah. And I feel like it was the same thing with this, but even to a larger degree, because you had 2 songs, right? You had 2 songs with Idina. And like you said, it still didn't. You know what? My take, in all honesty, I don't feel any of the songs in this song hit to the level that Frozen 1 did.
That's fair. It's very, very hard to replicate.
Yeah.
But I've also talked to you about reviewing Moana 2 versus Moana, and I think Frozen 2 did a much better job musically than Moana 2, because I can at least get titles in my head and stuff. I couldn't tell you a single title from Moana 2. So. Yeah, I feel like they're...
What can I say except you're welcome? Yeah, we got to get to that one too. But yeah, I don't know. Did that wrap up the thing? Are we getting to our closing thoughts, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think, I don't know if there's other elements throughout the storyline that you want to just sort of dive a little deeper into, or if I feel like we covered a lot, but if there's something I'm missing,
there is one.
I still love some of Olaf's lines. Like he went viral over the Samantha. I don't even know a Samantha. When he was like calling for people and he's like, Samantha, he's like, I don't even know a Samantha. And it was so cute because Josh Gad actually like frequents Disneyland. And he took a picture with a cast member and her name said Samantha. And he said, I found Samantha. So it was really cute.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was hilarious. I think Olaf is also becoming one of my favorite Disney characters of all time. I think so. But there was another point that I did like about this movie, right? And I want to know if I understood this correctly, and maybe you could let me know. But what it sounded like their dad obviously is from Arendelle. He was the Prince of Arendelle. And their mom was from like these people. I forgot the name of the people.
Ottawalas.
She was a part of the Ottawalas. And it sounds like I'm saying Otta Koalas. She was a part of the Otta Koalas, and it was kind of like, I guess their love made this bridge, right, between the and that's something that always stands out to me. I think is like, I like anytime you can kind of connect, especially with, you know, when it comes from different backgrounds and things like that, and yeah, just connecting through love. And I like the fact that, because we didn't know about this before, but that Anna and Elsa are pretty much byproducts of Anna and Elsa are byproducts of this union. And, you know, talk about bridging, you know, people together. They were the perfect bridge to do that because, you know, they're parents. So I did like that.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. I like that point too. Yeah, it was kind of like the wife like kept it secret out of fear, but then at the end it turned into being like a really beautiful thing. They even made a statue as like a tribute to not only their love, but like the bridging of two communities. And I thought that was really beautiful too.
And they made it like young versions of them. Like when they met. So I thought that was, that was cool.
There was a lot of cute elements. I mean, I have to give a lot of credit that I feel like everything was very, very well thought out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So are we getting to review scores?
I believe so.
Am I going first or you going first?
Up to you.
I feel like I'm always going first.
I can go first.
Okay, there you go.
So my score comes from a place of feeling like sequels never live up to their original. And this original is extremely, extremely hard to live up to. But if you think of like the Little Mermaid sequel, there's a Beauty and the Beast sequel, there's an Aladdin sequel, like they're all like, no offense, basura. And like, I feel like this was still a great film. I also feel like it could have been a standalone film. Like it didn't even really need to be a sequel if it didn't have to be, because it had enough storyline and development that it could hold its own. And I felt like they stayed very true to the characters and what they had already built, while also trying to bring something new without doing too much. You know, there was a song here and there that I didn't like, but overall, I liked that it had like a great storyline. So I give it an 8.
This is wild. Hold on, I got to give you a yay though.
Yay!
Okay, this is wild. Okay, first, a few things. First off, Aladdin's sequel wasn't that bad because it spawned the Aladdin verse. All right. And for those that don't know, the Aladdin verse is what happened after the sequel when Iago went and joined the team. And then there was a whole series that came on the Disney afternoon that spanned that. And then you wrapped it up with Aladdin and the King of Thieves or Sea of Thieves or Father of Thieves, whatever it's called. So it spawned, it created this whole Aladdin verse. Yes, I'm coining that, the Aladdin verse.
Aladdin verse, that's crazy.
Yeah, and there were crossovers and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I don't think that there was any type of sequel in Disney whatsoever that did something to that effect. So shout out to Return of Jafar. All right.
Pretty sure we're reviewing Frozen.
We are. Okay. So Frozen 2. All right. So I thought the same thing in the aspect that this is a very hard movie to make a sequel for. Very hard movie to make a sequel for because of how good the first one is. And not only how good the first one was, but also how much of an impact it had on shaping Disney movies going forward. Because once again, this is the rebirth of the Disney Renaissance, right? We're talking about years of time where that whole musical genre from Disney was gone, lost, right? And, you know, you come back, you have Tangled, which is a success, but then you have Frozen, which was a phenomenon. All right. Like, I don't think so, like, and I don't think people realize how big Frozen was. Like, unless you have kids or something like that, or was around kids for whatever reason. But like, yo, there were like, I saw houses that were, had light shows for Frozen just to sing Let It Go, and had a whole bunch of like crazy, like, Frozen was a phenomenon. And the reason why that song, so many people got tired of it, was because it was everywhere. That kind of did a lot. It changed the landscape. So you're talking about following up that type of movie. Now, granted, you had amazing performances. Idina Menzel, you know, not only gave two standout performances, and I'd say, honestly, what's the name of that song again?
Which one?
The second one, Show Yourself. Show Yourself.
Yes.
I'd say, performance-wise, Show Yourself was probably a better performance than Let It Go. Vocally.
Wow.
Vocally, I would say vocally that performance was probably better than Let It Go, but Let It Go was a way better song. And it's kind of like, you know, you can have a song that's sung really, really well, but it's not a hit. Like, it's not, you know, and that's what I felt. I felt like, you know, if I saw it live, like, I would get goosebumps, like all of that, like, because it's Idina Menzel, she's killing it. Right. And, but yeah, Frozen is like one of the GOATs as far as Disney movies, especially when it comes to music, and for me, that's a big thing, right? Like, music matters, and it hits. So what score would I give this? I still thought it was a good movie. I think they did a good job. I think, you know, yes, it's a hard movie to follow up, but you're following up with a movie that's a 10 out of 10. So I'd say that this movie I would give, and here's why I said this was crazy, because apparently back to back,
Disney.
Somewhat back to back on a Disney front, we're on the same wavelength, because I am also going to give it an 8. There we go.
Oh.
Yay!
2 8s. So I think that's solid. I think that's solid for both of us. A solid 8 across the board, which I'm not mad at. I think that's fitting. What do you think?
I guess we agree sometimes.
Sometimes. All right. Well, there you have it. You have our review. Appreciate everyone for coming through. Once again, we do this every Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, yes. Make sure, if you haven't done so yet, like and subscribe to VeVeMagic's channel, because she puts forth amazing content on a regular basis. My name is Emojii. I am here with
Magic.
And we are bringing you, or continue to bring you, and will continue to bring you, our journey
From Toontown
to Tokyo. Take care, everyone. Be easy, and we'll see you next time. Peace.